What's Normal When Everyone's Different by Bridget Price, illustrated by Tanya Recio. Lucy's gills began to grow when she was 5 years old. She discovered they were just like fish gills. She could breathe underwater. They helped her win swimming races at school. None of the other children had gills, so her mother, Mita, taught Lucy how to hide them under her school uniform. Lucy pretended to get tired in order not to come first place in the school swimming races. It wasn't normal for a child to swim like a mermaid, Mita often told her. Trolls and humans all lived in the same beachside town called Crockerberry Cliff. The humans built their house on the slope of the cliff. This meant everybody's house were slightly lopsided. This also meant that people slept lopsided, ate lopsided, and had lopsided conversation. The trolls built their houses on the treetop. The houses were parallel to the ground, which meant that they slept and ate leveled. Sherbert's tongue was longer than the rest of the trolls' tongue, so he could swing through the trees faster than the rest. His tongue was so long that he could stretch it from one side of the room to the other. He liked to steal his mother's desserts when she was enjoying it, which made her scream, "Sherbert, I was eating that." Then he swallowed the rose with a smile. Trolls love eating flowers for dessert. Lucy had a chubby house in the forest. One afternoon, she saw Sherbert swinging from branch to branch. She noticed his green hair and long tongue. Your tongue is as long as a serpent. Sherbert didn't like to talk to humans, but the little girl with her red hair and old shoes seemed different. She never complained about the troll smell in the classrooms or ignored a troll in the playground like the other children did. Lucy liked talking to the trolls more than to humans. "And I've seen your gills," said Sherbert. Lucy invited him inside her treehouse. She showed him her secret seashell collection. "Why do you hide your seashells?" asked Sherbert. "My mom tells me that I am not allowed to play on the shoreline. Mom said that the sea trolls that lurk on the shoreline are dangerous and that we should never trust a mermaid. I think she is afraid of the ocean tide. But that's when the ocean is the prettiest to see," Sherbert exclaimed. Lucy told Sherbert that her mother thought that a wave could catch her and take her away forever. "Does your dad live in the sea?" asked Sherbert. "Yes, but I've never met him." "Is he a mermaid?" "I suppose so." Sherbert then showed Lucy his necklace. "What's that?" asked Lucy. "It's witch's hair and it gives you power." Lucy asked, "Who gave it to you?" Sherbert said, "My father was a troll warrior and he gave me the necklace. He stole it from a witch in a great battle. The witches and trolls have been fighting for 1,000 years. The witches wanted the trolls' land, trees and homes, but the trolls refused to give their forest away." Lucy asked Sherbert, "Where is your father now?" Sherbert pointed to the clouds. "I suppose he's somewhere up there. He died in a battle." Sherbert and Lucy became best friends. The trolls and humans lived peacefully. When Lucy first visited Sherbert's home, Sherbert's mother cried, "What is that?" Sherbert stomped his four-toed foot down in anger. "Her name's Lucy and she's staying for dinner." Sherbert's mother walked around the wooden kitchen looking for something that Lucy could eat. Lucy smiled. "I can eat whatever Sherbert eats." Dinner was warm soup, pineapple salad, eucalyptus tea, and fruit pudding. Sherbert's mother was in shock. "I have never had a human in my house for dinner eating the same food as a troll," she told Lucy. From that day forward, Lucy came to Sherbert's home every Sunday for a family dinner. At first, Meta, Lucy's mother, wasn't happy with Lucy's friend until one day when she saw how Sherbert made her daughter laugh so much. Then she realized how important Sherbert was to Lucy. One morning, Lucy invited Sherbert to come with her to the caves. "We can collect seashells." "What do I need a seashell for?" asked Sherbert. Lucy couldn't convince Sherbert, so she said, "I'm sure there are insects to lick off the cave's walls." Sherbert accepted, and they went towards the shoreline. Lucy could see the mermaid's fins in the water, and she wanted to go with them. It was like the ocean was always calling her name. Trolls could hear conversations through houses, forests, and even through water. Sherbert said, "They're talking about you, Lucy." Lucy was concerned. "Who?" "The sea trolls and the mermaids. Can you hear them?" "Of course not. What are they saying?" "There's a great war coming, a war between the trolls and the witches. They say you will help us win it." "War? I don't know anything about war. How can they say that? Mermaids always see the future." "We have to go now. I have to warn the others trolls." Lucy had never seen so many trolls before. They gathered under the trees. Sherbert spoke to the other trolls. "The witches are coming back. They want to take our land again." "Who is fighting with them?" asked a small troll with pink hair. "The evil goblins." What are we going to do? Asked another troll. We will have to ask the humans for help, Sherbert answered. Every troll in the forest turned their eyes to Lucy. When Lucy got home, she was feeling terrible. Her mother noticed Lucy's pale face. What's the matter, Lucy? Lucy started to cry. The evil goblins are coming with the witches. They might kill the trolls and I don't know how to help. Lucy's mother knew that there weren't enough humans to help the trolls. The only option was going to the sea. The last time she was there was when Lucy was born. It was time to go back. When they reached the ocean, Meta took off her shoes and put her feet in the water. It had been 10 years since she had done such a thing. Lucy did the same. Meta held Lucy's hand as they walked into the sea. The water started to move around them, and Lucy became scared. I can see fins. Are they sharks? Lucy asked. No, they're mermaids, Meta answered. Suddenly, a man's head appeared. The man had long red hair and a red beard. This is your father, Lucy. His name is Zeron. Lucy stared into the eyes of her father. They were the same sea blue as her own. I have been waiting for you to come, Lucy, said Zeron. Lucy could feel her gills open and take in the cool water. Finally, your mother has brought you to me, Zeron said. When Lucy looked at her mother, she was crying. I am sorry it took me so long. It's okay, I understand, replied Zeron. Meta explained there's a war coming, Zeron. We and the trolls need your help. Sea trolls started to emerge from the water. Lucy was surprised to see that they looked like her friend Sherbert, except the sea trolls had gills on their arms and fins instead of legs. Zeron said, you know we can't leave the water. What if we bring the war to the water? Will you help us? Asked Meta. Only if you promise that once the war is over I can show Lucy her other home, the sea. Later that night, the witches flew in. Lucy could see the head witch, Odysseus. She had green eyes and long brown hair. Her skin was the color of coffee beans, dark and smooth. Her legs and arms were long and slender. Odysseus made a strange sound, and the clouds filled with witches. The trolls were ready to attack the witches. They had spears and shields. The witches had bows and arrows. On their broomsticks, fire, Odysseus ordered, and arrows came down upon the trolls. We have to run, Lucy. Can you help me take them to the ocean? Sherbert asked. Lucy could see the angry goblins in the distance. They were marching in troops and wearing silver armors. They were very short and had long heads with very big eyes. Lucy shouted to her friends, jump into the water. The trolls were scared. We can't swim, one of them shouted. Lucy could see the sea trolls and she knew that they would help them. Trust me, said Lucy. Lucy took the first jump and splashed into the sea. The mermaids helped her out of the water. The trolls jumped into the water and the witches flew in the air. The goblins stayed on the edge of the cliff, but some of them fell down. This isn't your war, Zeron, said the head witch. My daughter lives on this cliff, so this is my war, Zeron replied. This was our land before the trolls invaded it. You're able to fly to trees all over the world. Why do you need these ones? This was my mother's land. Why should I give it away to the trolls? Why can't we make a truce? Said Lucy. What do you suggest, Lucy? Asked Odysseus. That we all live together. Fairies, goblins, trolls, witches, mermaids, and humans. Zeron took Lucy's hand for the first time in his life. Odysseus was surprised this was the solution to 1,000 years of war. We're too different, Odysseus argued. Water fairies held Lucy's hand in the air so that Odysseus could see Lucy's gills. What's normal when everyone's different? Lucy asked her. Everybody was shocked when they saw Lucy's gills. That moment marked the day that the witches and trolls made a lifelong truce to live in peace in the same forest under the same trees.